easy. But with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis Police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
Across Native communities, tradition and connection guide every step. Make voting a tradition, or MVAT, celebrates that spirit, helping generations come together to shape the future of Native communities. MVAT has empowered Native American communities by bringing friends and families together to talk about important issues and sharing helpful information about how and where to vote. By learning from each other and leaning on trusted relationships, MVAT helps Native communities feel confident in voting and making their choices heard. Voting is more than a right. It's a way to protect the needs of your community and have a say in the future. MVAT has been helping Native communities across the state for 9 years, creating stronger, more engaged communities every election. Vote together, stand together. Explore a fact sheet that explains some of the elected offices on the ballot and why they matter to you, your family, and your community at makevotingatradition.org. That's makevotingatradition.org.
MNsure is a proud supporter of Native Roots Radio. Looking for health insurance but not sure where to start? MNsure has you covered. You can find discounts, compare private health plans, and see if you qualify for free or low-cost insurance plans, plus get help from an expert so you can save on the coverage you need. Enroll online by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Get started today at mnsure.org. That's mnsure.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, clear with a low of 38, then Tuesday, sunshine with a high of 60. Cafe Latte is your one-stop shop for award-winning soup, salad, sandwiches, a pizza and wine bar, and fresh treats from the bakery made daily. Cafe Latte is located in St. Paul on the corner of Grand Avenue and Victoria. Check them out at cafelatte.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut, didn't cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Kadagi to all my friends and relatives in four directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Wendy, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, it's Native American Heritage Month, and I just got to say this too. We sent out the wrong link to the guests.
Yeah.
Just like old days.
Yeah.
Just like old times. We've been on the air for 9 years, and I guess you can repeat the first year 9 times. So we aren't like a 9-year veteran. We've, or I should say me. But hey, we're going to have a jam-packed show here, and you know we got a guest here, Heather Fahey, Dr. Heather Fahey, correct?
Correct.
Right on. I like to say that, doctor. And then we got a couple other guests coming on in just a minute. But one of the cool things is I want to talk about real quick is that at Minneapolis Institute of Art, Wendy, this Thursday, there will be a movie, and that movie is called Winter Love by Riani Ozzie. It's a film, and I'll be hosting it and doing the Q&A, and that is at 6 p.m., and the film starts at 6 p.m. But one of the things I found out this week is that you have to register. There are already a lot of people registered for the other movies as well, and it's really picking up. And on the 23rd, We will be having Ajawak's movie Indian Horse. He'll be there. He starred in it, and I'll be doing the Q&A then, and that's at 2 p.m. And then also on the 29th of November, they're showing smoke signals.
I know.
And we got Dr. Adams to come, so
Yep.
I'm going to be hanging out
Played
with him.
Thomas.
Yeah, well, and he's an unbelievable actor a doctor through Indian country, and that movie's stands up still to this day. It's just amazing. And another thing we got going too before we really get down and dirty here with our guest is that tomorrow's election day, and they're all important now. I remember them not being that important back in the day, but everyone's important, especially the way school boards get affected and all these things, city council members. So we have our friend, and it's a matter of fact, it's really funny because all three of us, well, I knew Wendy because we lived together, but she's your city council member. Sarah Jost is about to give us a quick report before we really get going.
We're
here.
Ward 3, Precinct 2 in St. Paul.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I just know where to vote. Hey, so I'm wondering if the mother station could pod up. I guess that's the term, pod up Sarah Jost and play her report, if you don't mind, Patrick.
Hi, Robert. Good evening. My name is Sarah Jost, and I am proud to be the City Council member that represents Ward 3 in St. Paul, the Highland, McAllister, Groveland, and West 7th neighborhoods. I want to remind everyone that tomorrow is Election Day. There are elections all over the country, and in Minnesota, you can find your polling place at mnvotes.org. So please get out and vote. Our local elections matter. Now, I want to share with you how I'm voting in St. Paul this year. Our city government is the first and last line of defense when it comes to taking care of our neighbors. In St. Paul this year, we'll be voting for mayor, a school referendum, and a city ballot question. These choices will shape how we respond to challenges and build a more resilient, thriving city. That's why I'm ranking Melvin Carter first for mayor, voting yes on the school levy and yes on the administrative citations question. Mayor Carter has led our city through COVID-19, the murder of George Floyd, the opioid epidemic, and 2 tumultuous Trump administrations. He's led with empathy, courage, and commitment to our community. Thanks to his help in my ward, Highland Bridge now has found a path forward. Today, we're on track to completing hundreds of new units of housing by year's end, with more slated to come. This is a project that is vital for our city's economic future. He understands that expanding our property tax base is how we keep taxes manageable and services strong. Now we have over $1 billion of development underway across the city. He's improved our core services. The common sense sales tax is making massive investments in our infrastructure. We've upgraded snow removal technology and strategy, and we are seeing incredible public safety results, fewer shootings and homicides, and record clearance rates. He stood firm against federal pressure, resisting ICE cooperation and the threats to our local funding. He's advancing local gun control ordinances that our community has demanded that will be ready to take effect once the state acts. In uncertain times, we need bold and steady leadership. Melvin Carter is that leader, and I'm proud to support him for re-election. Now more than ever, we also need to support our kids. Our schools face serious budget challenges made worse by federal funding cuts. The school board has cut to the bone, positions, services, closing schools, and spending its reserves. Supporting the referendum will give kids what they need to be successful. Flip your ballot over and vote yes. Finally, administrative citations gives us an enforcement tool used by every other city to hold violators accountable. Wage theft, unsafe housing, or failure to pay minimum wage. This measure ensures fair and reasonable enforcement of our ordinances. Please vote yes. We're facing tough times, but I believe in our city. Our kids deserve safe, well-funded schools. Our neighbors deserve a city that upholds their values, and we deserve leadership that will guide us forward. This year, my vote in St. Paul is simple. Rank Melvin Carter first and vote yes twice. Let's keep moving forward together, and please make sure you get out and vote. Thanks so much for tuning in, and back to you, Robert.
Wow, that was exciting and well informative, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll be at our polling booth tomorrow. Not really sure what time we're going to head over there, but to get my eyes checked first tomorrow, so that I can see my ballot.
Yeah,
No,
make sure you
seriously.
vote for the right person. Hey, we are here with our friend, Heather. And Heather, I'm going to add some more people to this, and we got a few more minutes here, and it'd be great if you introduce everybody and introduce yourself. Why don't you do that right now, Heather? Introduce yourself, and we're going to be talking about Indian women in healthcare, and this is the Native Women Healthcare Consortium, and I did say that right?
Close enough.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome, Heather. Let's introduce yourself and tell us where you're from, and go ahead.
So I'm Heather Fahey. I'm a clinical pharmacist with Health Fairview. I am Mohawk from Tyendinaga Mohawk Territory in Southern Ontario. I have been with Fairview for a little more than the last 16 years. And just in the last couple of years have taken on an additional role helping to lead our Native health equity initiatives. So in that spirit, I've been introduced to my partners here, Rebekah Fineday and Amber Lightfeather. So excited to talk about our work that we've begun together.
That's awesome. Rebekah, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi. Thank you for having me here today. It's an honor to be able to speak. My name is Rebekah Fineday. I'm a citizen of the Leech Lake Band of Ojibwe, born and raised in Cass Lake, Minnesota, in northern Minnesota. After I was in the Air Force for 8 years, I was worked as a nurse in 2 of our Indian health services up north. And now I'm currently, for the past 3.5 years, the Native American community advocate in Sanford Health in Bemidji under the nursing department.
Awesome. Amber, can you introduce yourself real quick, and then we're going to take a quick break and come back and talk nuts and bolts. And I just got to say too, Rebekah, Leech Lake wild rice is the best. All right. Hey.
I have to disagree.
All right. Hey, Amber.
Boys Fort wild rice is the best. Bonjour, I'm Amber Lightfeather, and I'm in Duluth. I work at Essentia Health, the Essentia Institute of Rural Health. I'm a research and evaluation specialist, and we're a little behind on having this kind of representation that like Rebekah Fineday has at her hospital system. We're currently working on trying to get some more American Indian health initiatives launched, because our second highest number of people that come here are American Indian demographic. So we're working on that right now.
We're going to talk more about that after this quick break. Amber.
All right.
And send me some Boys Fort wild rice, and I'll be the judge. Oh wow!
You'll never be the same.
With us.
We'll be right back. Native Roots Radio.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune into Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Are you a Metro Transit rider? Join the Free Riders Club and let your voice be heard. Our motto is Transit Voices United, and when you become a member, you'll participate more closely in decision-making, plus earn the opportunity for exclusive merchandise at Metro Transit events. Help improve your transit system. We value your opinion. Join at metrotransit.org/Riders Club and start being rewarded today. That's the Riders Club at metrotransit.org/Riders Club.
Thinking about college? Consider Minnesota Private Colleges. These 18 nonprofit institutions keep the focus on students with small classes and professors who will get to know you. You'll find students from all backgrounds, and no two colleges are alike. And when it comes to cost, they're more affordable than you think. Find the college that's right for you at mnprivatecolleges.org/possible. That's mnprivatecolleges.org/possible.
Discover Matrilineal Memory by hobby artist Michaela Schaefer, now in view at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. This evocative exhibition features paintings, poetry, and installations that explore memory and cultural preservation. Don't miss the Artist Talk with Michaela Schaefer on Saturday, November 15th from 2 to 3:30 p.m. at the gallery. Matrilineal Memory is open through December 13th. Experience art that transforms memory into connections and healing. Details at allmyrelationsarts.org.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. I will be voting for Peggy Flanagan when I have a chance. Great to always hear her and see her in community. We are here, Wendy, with Heather Fahey and her posse here. And Heather, we were asking a few questions during the break here, and I'm wondering, this consortium, can you talk a little bit about it and how it came about?
Yeah, I think we kind of just all started connecting with each other like maybe sometime earlier this year. I was at the U for a meeting talking about supporting Native students in the pharmacy program, and actually connected with one of my former preceptors at the Cass Lake Indian Health Service when I was on rotations. She said, "Do you know Rebekah Fineday?" And she connected us. And then Rebekah said, "Oh, hey, I've been chatting with Valerie down at Mayo." And then I had another connection from the U for somebody at Essentia. That's Dr. Laura Palumbi, who then connected us with Amber Lightfeather. And then just through some community work with Native students and the Indigenous Health Professions Alliance, hooked up with Dr. Tom Wyatt at HCMC. So then we got Grayson McDougall from HCMC, and we have a whole crew of us right now who have just started gathering monthly meetings. We're trying to do like a quarterly in-person meeting. But essentially, we all, kind of got each other's names. There's not, what it feels like is just not a ton of Native people in these large health systems doing work to support our Native patients. So when we all heard of each other, I think it was just an immediate, like, we got to talk. We have to talk.
I want to go to Rebekah here in a second. Wendy, when Wendy was working at Fairview, it really warmed my heart when she told the story when she'd meet. You want to say that story real quick? That always warmed my heart when you first told me about when you'd meet a Native American client.
Sure. Well, I was a medication therapy management pharmacist in the infectious disease clinic at the University of Minnesota. I did that for 14 years. And I would meet Native American clients. Most of the patients who I saw were HIV positive. And it was really hard for them to open up and to talk to me about it, talk to me about how they take their medications, how they feel about being HIV positive. And I would ask them, do you mind if I ask you what tribe you're from? And then they would tell me, and then I would say, well, my husband's Ho-Chunk. And a lot of times if they said that they were Ojibwe, or like I know like a word here and there in different tribes, and I would, once I mentioned, my husband is Ho-Chunk, they just kind of, you could just see like their shoulders fall. They,
the wall came down.
They were more, open and able to, talk with me, and they just really opened up. So, it was a lot different. That like I kind of like, even though I'm not Native myself, I'm married to a Native man, so.
And you have a Native name.
I have a Native name.
You've been to a lot of things, ceremonies. Yeah.
So, they definitely opened up, and it was easy for us to connect at that point. So.
Well, Rebekah, that little story, we always talk about representation, whether it's political or being anywhere in the white community is so important.
Yes, representation, especially in our non-native healthcare entities, is really important. It's important for us to see people who are like us in different positions like doctors, nurses, dietary, environmental services, patient access. But it's also important to see people who are doing a work in advocacy, making changes in certain policies, advocating for our tribal nations, for our culture, to be heard, for our Native perspectives. And just like Wendy had mentioned, there's a lot of times I don't know a lot of my Native patients, my Native relatives, but when you realize somebody's Native, there is that connection, almost immediate connection. And we're able to obtain a lot more healthcare information, maybe some social information and personal information that we can serve our patients better, have more wraparound services, get direct services better that can help them better. They're just more apt to open up and talk about what's really happening with them or how they really feel, because they have a different type of a trust factor with other Native Americans, even though you might not have ever met before. And so having that is really important in healthcare systems, especially when we know that healthcare isn't made for Native Americans.
Not at all, especially with the history. And, that's kind of what I was alluding to with Wendy knocking down that wall and saying, what nation are you? And, normally people don't, outside of our community ask those things, or what clan and things like that she knows about and has a Native name too. Amber, representation, we're talking about Native Women Healthcare Consortium, and what can we do to really, put a chair up to the table?
Well, we're showing up for each other, and we're noticing emerging themes whenever we talk to each other about, how it's going for us and the expectations that the healthcare system has for us, but what our patients actually need from us. And so one of the things that I've been doing is I've been going through some of our our different things so that we can do smudgings, and we can do different ceremony inside of the hospital. And I've been trying to revamp that with our spiritual care team. There is no Natives on that team. We're trying to get somebody on there. I've been going into the hospital rooms with them, and we I'll give an example of a patient. So we had this patient that wasn't identified as any Native, white. They didn't have an identification, but their last name looked Native. So I went in there, and this person was sleeping, half out of it, looked like they might have just gotten out of surgery. And I started speaking to her, and I introduced myself in the language. I was Buju Bidabnekwe Indigenous cause, and among Amaj Indo Dame, Wabananga Ki and Dunchaba. I told her who I was and where I was from, and she started waking up, and she spoke back to me very softly in her language. And I immediately got a connection, and she started talking to me a little bit more, and then I had to start talking to her in English because I am not that fluent. So then we were like, do you want to smudge later? And she started waking up, and we came back in with all of our supplies, and we had her sitting up. She started walking around and laughing. I mean, this ceremony and speaking to her in her language brought her right back into living. I don't know if this person was giving up. I mean, just those kind of connections. And I keep hearing these stories over and over again with Rebekah and with Heather and with other people that have done similar things. Our culture is so healing for our people, and that's something that is lacking right now in most of these systems. They just don't understand that.
Wow. Heather, I know I see you in community a lot, and it's interesting too, because when you first came in community, you were giving people blood pressure tests. And I thought, well, maybe a few years ago, before Wendy became vegan, I would avoid that, but you had a line of people that wanted to check their blood pressure in community.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just one piece of the work that's being done is, first and foremost, showing up, right? Just keep showing up, being in community, building the relationships, building the trust. Because I think that there's a lot of work that we all, Rebekah, Amber, all of us want to do, changes that we want to make in our system. But it's hard to make those changes with community without trust of the community.
Right.
So yeah, like we've been showing up in community for a long time because, I mean, not only am I part of the community, but if I want to get my voice and the voice of the community at the table in this system, then we need the partnership of the community.
Yeah. And how important it is just to show up, not only in Native community, but it's an old Woody Allen line, 90% of living or success is just showing up. But, I've only been in the community 13 years, and I think people think I've been here forever because I'm an adoptee that came back and jumped into this. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and I'm here with Wendy Pilot, and we are talking to the Native Women Healthcare Consortium and learning a lot. We'll be right back after this short break.
Stay with us.
Across Native communities, tradition and connection guide every step. Make voting a tradition, or MVAT honors that spirit, helping generations come together to shape the future of Native communities. By learning from each other and sharing knowledge through trusted relationships, MVAT helps build trust and make sure Native voices are heard. Voting is more than a right. It's a way to protect the needs of your community and build the future you want. Vote together, stand together. Learn more at makevotingatradition.org.
MNsure is a proud supporter of Native Roots Radio. Looking for health insurance but not sure where to start? MNsure has you covered. You can find discounts, compare private health plans, and see if you qualify for free or low-cost insurance plans. Plus, get help from an expert so you can save on the coverage you need. Enroll online by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Get started today at mnsure.org. That's mnsure.org.
I'm Shelley Medore, and I'm running for Minneapolis City Council. As your council member, I will fight against harmful MAGA policies coming out of Washington and push back on extreme policies here at home. Minneapolis doesn't need more grandstanding. We need good governance and common sense solutions. I will work to invest in community policing, protect tenants' rights, and invest in our small businesses so we can keep Minneapolis a welcoming city for all. On Election Day, I'm asking for your vote. Together, let's choose Minneapolis. Vote Shelley Medore for Ward 2.
Prepared and paid for by Campaign Fund of Shelley Medore, Ward 2.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
Are you a Metro Transit rider? Join the Free Riders Club and let your voice be heard. Our motto is Transit Voices United, and when you become a member, you'll participate more closely in decision-making, plus earn the opportunity for exclusive merchandise at Metro Transit events. Help improve your transit system. We value your opinion. Join at metrotransit.org/Riders Club and start being rewarded today. That's the Riders Club at metrotransit.org/Riders Club.
MNsure is a proud supporter of Native Roots Radio. Looking for health insurance but not sure where to start? MNsure has you covered. You can find discounts, compare private health plans, and see if you qualify for free or low-cost insurance plans. Plus, get help from an expert so you can save on the coverage you need. Enroll online by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Get started today at mnsure.org. That's mnsure.org.
We've all seen the effects of wood smoke pollution this year, so before hosting that backyard bonfire, follow these simple tips to protect yourself others, and the environment. Remember to give your neighbors a heads up before building a fire so those who find wood smoke bothersome can close their windows. Make sure to never burn wet or recently cut wood, other yard waste, plastic, or garbage. These things can be toxic when burned and create excess smoke. For more tips on how to burn responsibly, visit epa.gov/burnwise. With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, clear with a low of 38, then Tuesday, sunshine with a high of 60. Cafe Latte is your one-stop shop for award-winning soup, salad, sandwiches, a pizza and wine bar, and fresh treats from the bakery made daily. Cafe Latte is located in St. Paul on the corner of Grand Avenue and Victoria. Check them out at cafelatte.com. This is AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. This is Native Roots Radio, and we are here with the Native Women Healthcare Consortium. Oh, I messed it up. Consortium. There we go.
Consortium is what we've been, how I would say it.
What did I say?
Consortium.
Okay, that's hard to say. So next segment, I'll just point to you when I say we're with. No, but hey, we're talking about Indian women in healthcare, and a great organization that you're starting, and that these young ladies here are in, and it's so needed. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Heather, we were last with you. I want to just talk a little bit again on how important it is to show up in community and talk about that. And I know I've seen you around a lot.
Yeah, well, and so with the consortium too, we, like I said, we kind of all came across each other and came together. And I mean, I would say it was a pretty immediate connection between all of us. Just recognizing that we're, in our kind of siloed systems, all working for the health of our communities. And it just felt really very natural to say, like, well, let's put our minds together and, share resources, share our wins, share our struggles, so that we can start to take better care of our communities, not just in my service area or your service area, but across the state as a whole. Because that's, I think we kind of just felt like that's kind of the Indian way, right? Like we're not protective of this policy or that policy of mine only. It's like we need to work together, and our communities face so many health disparities that, I think we've been trying to make a dent in these disparities, all of us in our own spaces, and it hasn't worked yet. Yeah. So we needed to do, I don't know, I think we all feel like we need to do something a little bit different, and coming together felt really natural.
Absolutely. Hey, Rebekah, how do people get a hold of you and find out more, or want to join, or maybe know a relative that's in the healthcare system that would like to join up? How do we get a hold of you guys?
Absolutely. For Sanford, you can call their main line and ask for the Native Advocate, and somebody should be able to connect you. Otherwise, my direct office line is 218-333-2106. I'll say that again. For my direct office line is 218-333-2106. And I am happy to say that after quite a while of talking with our leadership, Sanford is now in interviews for adding another person to help me as a Native American patient advocate, because right in the middle of three of the largest tribal nations in northern Minnesota, I'm one person, and I wear like 13 different hats in one day sometimes.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Geez. Amber, how do people get a hold of you and talk to people about joining the consortium?
The consortium.
The group.
The group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I'm a research and evaluation specialist. I work in the research department. They kind of farm me out to help with things around the hospital wide, but the best way to get a hold of me, I would say, is email. So it'd be amber.lightfeather at essentiahealth.org.
Mm-hmm.
And then we could go from there. Otherwise, I'm not like in a book saying this is your liaison or anything like that. We're trying to make a position like that. Hopefully we'll be hiring for somebody to do that position within the next year or so. I mean, we've been working on it, so hopefully soon, fingers crossed, because our patients need this. One of the things that I've seen is that it doesn't matter which healthcare system you're in, our patients have the same needs. So whether it's, at Essentia, whether it's at Fairview, our patients still need those same connections, those same people in place that can really kind of help them bridge from this healthcare to their spiritual care as well.
That's great. And Heather, I guess I didn't ask my question correctly. I'm wondering how people can get a hold of you guys too, that are in the healthcare community, to join up with you, because I know these small towns, you're getting defunded, and all these things are happening, and people need support, because we always talk about here on Native Roots Radio, what are you doing to protect your soul? How are you protecting your soul with all these things coming at us? Plus, you have patience.
Well, I mean, as far as the consortium goes, we're really in our kind of infancy stage. So we don't even technically we're still even like reconsidering what our name is.
Thank you.
And just to be fair,
That might be smart.
well, and we've got, like I said, Dr. Wyatt at HCMC, and now Sam Moose up at Essentia. So we did start off as a group of women, Native women, taking care of our Native community, but it is not just women anymore. So we're still in the infancy, figuring out our meeting schedule, and we're putting together a mission and a vision statement, things like that. So I would just say anybody could reach out to any of us. We're pretty informal at this point. I actually did have somebody say, how do I get on your meeting agenda? And I'm like, we don't have one. Just let us know. We're happy to talk to whoever, because we just want to figure out how to take care of our relatives in a good way.
I could help out and change the name, and then also go with Robert's rules. I don't know.
Robert, if you could say it on the radio, then it's a good name.
Oh my goodness.
And if it's,
well, you can do the shortened version, like NHC.
Well,
that would be good. I can't even say acronym.
Yeah. I think it's great, though. I really do.
Well, this we have a few more minutes too in this segment, and seeing that Wendy's here too, I always think about Robert. Ask them what they want to talk about. So I'm going to start with you, Heather. What do you want to talk about in regards to this? I know we talked about how important it is to be in the community, how important it is for our community to be in the community too, with all our medical needs and things like that. So tell me what you want to talk about when it comes to women healthcare and healthcare in general.
I mean, I think the main thing is we, as I said, are just starting to get together. There hasn't been a partnership like this before that I'm aware of. And so as Native people working in these Western health systems, we're trying to figure out, how do we do this? How do we take care of our relatives in a good way, in a way that's holistic and feels aligned with kind of our original instructions and
culture.
And what those things that we just kind of inherently know of how to take care of each other. So yeah, we're figuring it out. We'll happily take feedback from community if you've got ideas, but we're in the positions that we are within these health systems that, whether you go to those health systems or not, we're providing care. And so, yeah, we just want to do it right.
I think it's great. I really do.
Well, I want to get you in before we get Rebekah and Amber in again. Wendy, real quick, is that you were a pharmacist that didn't like getting prescription drugs for yourself or anyone. It was more like what we talk about is diet. And I mean, I know a lot of people are into this, but I am not a huge fry bread person. I feel like that's a colonized thing, even though I did have some fry bread this last Saturday at the powwow. But I'm talking about both sides of my mouth. But
I just want to say HIV medications are very important, and people don't take their medications; they can get very sick. But there's also other things that you could do to help your situation so that you could take less of doses, maybe come off some medications if you're diabetic or have high blood pressure. Those are possibilities, but taking medications is important.
When you became a vegan, I lost 20 pounds. You were starving me for a few months, and now I'm not on any medications, so to speak. But Rebekah, how do we amplify good health with our community too?
That's a good question. Heather alluded to or said something earlier. We need the community too. It's not just us here doing it by ourselves. We need the community support. We need the community feedback for what's important to them. I think healthcare for a long time has been very paternalistic, kind of a me Tarzan, you Jane, I'm the doctor, I'll tell you what to do. They're moving to a little bit more patient-centered healthcare model, but we need to tell our healthcare team what it is we need, what we need access to, and what we need assistance with. Back in the day before colonization, we had what do we say? Our cage-free, range-free, all-natural sources of nutrition, and then colonization came, and then we got our fry bread, right? And now we have the highest rates of all kinds of diseases that you can think of. And now what is healthcare telling us to do? Go cage-free, range-free, natural, get in touch with nature. We were doing that before, colonization. So it's really like, and Heather said too, just getting back into the community, having the community know you, see you, you be with the community. You're not just advertising yourself. You're not just advertising what healthcare system you're from. It's building those relationships with the community and knowing what they have access to. And so what maybe we can assist with access to, and it's our culture as well. It's not just nutrition and hydration. It's how we connect with our culture, with each other, with their spirituality, because we know in our medicine wheel of holistic healthcare, we have to be healthy in all four directions: physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. And a lot of times we have to rely on each other with that, because we are communal people. We're not siloed, individualistic society like a lot of mainstream America is.
All right. Hey, we're going to come back, and then I'm going to talk to you, Amber. We talk a lot about factory farms and how stressed these animals are, and that you eat that stress. So we need to also think about what we're eating. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Stay with me.
The Minneapolis Police Department is hiring, and we're looking for people ready to lead, serve, and reflect the communities we protect.
Whether you're a new graduate, changing careers, or already in law enforcement, there's a path for you to join our department.
With top-tier pay, full benefits, paid training, and a direct path to making a difference, this is more than a job. This is your chance to shape the future of Minneapolis police.
Choose service. Choose leadership. Choose Minneapolis. Visit our city website to learn more.
November is Native American Heritage Month, a time to honor Indigenous history, art, and identity. At the Minneapolis Institute of Art, celebrate the contributions of Indigenous peoples across the Americas with programs and exhibitions that center around cultural resilience and deepen understanding through creative expression. MIA's month-long celebration includes free activities for the family, art making for adults, and a special showing of Smoke Signals, a story of friendship and healing. Celebrate, learn, and connect at the Minneapolis Institute of Art. Find full details and ways to participate at artsmia.org.
Thinking about college? Consider Minnesota Private Colleges. These 18 nonprofit institutions keep the focus on students with small classes and professors who will get to know you. You'll find students from all backgrounds, and no two colleges are alike. And when it comes to cost, they're more affordable than you think. Find the college that's right for you at mnprivatecolleges.org/possible. That's mnprivatecolleges.org/possible.
Discover Matrilineal Memory by hobby artist Michaela Schaefer, now in view at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. This evocative exhibition features paintings, poetry, and installations that explore memory and cultural preservation. Don't miss Artist Talk with Michaela Schaefer on Saturday, November 15th from 2 to 3:30 p.m. at the gallery. Matrilineal Memory is open through December 13th. Experience art that transforms memory into connections and healing. Details at allmyrelationsarts.org. Welcome back to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
In this portion of the show, we like to bring awareness to our wolf and bear populations. Say no to the hunts.
And how do you do the bear, like Yogi Bear? Hey, go get some picnic baskets. Hey, welcome back to Native Roots Radio. Hey, we're talking to some high-powered medical people here on Native Roots Radio and talking about good medicine. And welcome back, everyone. And Amber, I want to get with you right now and ask you about, what we put in ourselves food-wise is very important, and I think we need to talk more about that as a community and just talk about it.
Yeah, I've talked to different elders, and they've said that if the food we eat is sick, we get sick too. The animals have to be healthy. They have to be in their natural environment, or else we'll get sick from that. I remember a long time ago, my grandparents were farmers, and my grandfather found out that people were feeding chickens their own chickens, like ground up chicken parts, and he said that was the worst thing he'd ever heard of, because that he only fed them what they should eat, and we always had really healthy food. We had stuff from the garden, and we had stuff from their farm, and we knew what was in there. But I worked in diabetes for many years, and a lot of people were sick because they couldn't afford the good food, or they didn't know how to really cook for themselves, or there's just a whole bunch of factors that go into that. A lot of people are like, this one lady was like, I get $16 in food stamps, that I can only buy ramen noodles and noodles on that. How am I supposed to help my diabetes?
Right.
So there's a lot of disparities there that cross even, from Native people to other people, where poverty is one of the factors that does that.
Yeah, and we know too, Rebekah, here in this state that we have good medicine when it comes to, I'm a former teacher, and we feeding the kids breakfast every day is so important. And a lot of our inner city kids especially don't have that. And what you put inside your body is what comes out. And, a lot of people with not being able to pay attention, and it's diet and all these things.
Absolutely. FDA approves all these basic poisons that are allowed into our foods, all these different types of dyes and chemicals that are sometimes banned in other countries because of their harmful effects. I had a friend whose child was diagnosed in the school with like ADHD and behavioral issues. And okay, you need to get them to a doctor, get them diagnosed on medications. And instead, my friends did research and did like a more higher protein, less carb, almost no sugar, more hydration, whatever kind of change in nutrition. And behavior changed, focus came back. Their son was able to learn and retain information and didn't have to be on any medications or any type of therapy, but they really had to watch what type of food they had. You go into your grocery stores and you think, oh, this aisle looks healthy or feels healthy, and sometimes it really isn't, because of some of the other products that are placed into it that are deemed healthy by our U.S. government.
Absolutely. And Heather, you have some young ones too, so sometimes it's hard, not to you have to give away every once in a while to get those hot Cheetos and things like that the kids love, but it's not good for them, right?
Why do they like hot Cheetos?
I don't know. Our godson, he just turned 8 years old.
So
he likes the hot
gross.
Cheetos and they're Pringles, but they're flaming hot.
Yeah,
like
and
potato
Takis.
chips. And he eats them. Like, I can't even eat one or a bite of it. It
Yeah.
burns my mouth, and he's eating them.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And I will say, like, you're asking me, so I have 3 boys,
Yeah.
10, 8,
Oh, and they can
almost
team
5.
up. They can team up on you too.
And we're just a few days after Halloween, so I don't know. You don't want to ask me what they've been eating. Although I will say, we have Ridwell in our neighborhood.
Yeah, we do too.
And they took Halloween candy, so I sent a lot of the Halloween candy away.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have a special. Yeah. So Ridwell is a company that comes in. It's a recycling company who takes stuff that your regular recycling doesn't, like bread bags, plastics, multi-layer plastics, all kinds of stuff they take.
Yeah.
I just had a whole thing of styrofoam that I sent to them, a big giant bag of styrofoam.
Big orange bag,
Anyway,
look like
that's
a
whole
big
nother
pumpkin.
story.
But so what you're saying is you stole the poor kids' candy and send it off to Ridwell?
Well, we do in our house. It's called the Switch Witch. So I let them save. The little ones saved 10 pieces of candy, and the older ones saved 20.
Oh.
And then they give the rest of it for the Switch Witch to pick up the night of Halloween. So she comes in, takes it away, and then leaves them something that they wanted.
Oh, is that like the Tooth Fairy?
That's
Kind of.
So
That's cool.
the Switch Witch I wanted the Switch Witch here because I want to get a gift certificate or something.
I think that was the Great Pumpkin.
Oh, yes. Amber, I think I'm with you on that. Amber, go ahead, say it again.
The Great Pumpkin does that, doesn't he?
Sure, the Great Pumpkin.
Watch Charlie Brown. I've got 4 boys and a girl, so.
Oh.
You should see all the Halloween candy we get.
Oh my gosh. I have a lot of Snickers too because I don't know.
The kids don't. We go trick or treating with them every year. A 10-year-old and an 8-year-old. So they don't like Snickers. So Robert gets all the Snickers.
Yeah, and they don't care. And it seems like, well, this is too many. Give me an Almond Joy too.
The kids do not like Almond Joy.
I know what's going on.
Favorite.
Maybe
What's
it's
my
kind of
favorite?
waxy now. Maybe it isn't chocolate anymore because you know how things change over time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not even
Wow.
food anymore, I don't think.
No, and that's the same with like when I was a kid, McDonald's was a treat, but then now that's almost only what poor people can afford now, as you were saying,
it really
Amber.
is.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about all the chemicals in Skittles and Starbursts that are just like, oh my gosh.
Well, with Starburst, I have these veneers, and I don't want to lose my teeth when I'm eating those, so that's another story and another show, I think. So, Rebekah, I'm going to come to you because we only got a couple minutes left. What would you like to bring up here with a minute left here?
I would like for the community to realize that they can advocate for themselves, even if they don't have a Heather or a Amber or a Grayson in their communities. I think we're kind of out to some sort of indigenize or non-native healthcare entities to ensure that our culture is respected and understood. The biggest thing we get is smudging. Can we do our cultural ceremonies in smudging? And there's a lot of ups and downs and difficulties and delays with healthcare trying to figure out. So I was just a speaker here at this cancer summit here in Minneapolis, and I actually got to talk to Senator Kushner. What would she suggest about how do we get with 11 tribal nations in Minnesota? How do we get all of our healthcare institutes on one page for this? And I did mention our consortium, which was really fun.
Yay!
And she did mention bring it up to MIAC, which is something we had wanted to do anyways, to bring it up to MIAC and hopefully get part of our culture in legislation or into law. Not just that we are. I don't want to say allowed, but by law, we can practice our culture and our spirituality. But now let's put in a support system where somebody, a healthcare entity, can go to click on a button at MDH and say, this is how to set up somebody for smudging, so we're not all reinventing the same wheel like we realize we all are trying to do.
Hey, I want to thank you guys. Heather, got 10 seconds here. A quick update on November 5th.
Yes, this Wednesday, community night at American Indian Magnet School for celebration of Native American Heritage Month. We've got drum and dance, flu shot clinic. Fairview HR will be there for a hiring event. So if you're around town, please come check it out.
Wow, thank you so much. And we'll bring that up again tomorrow. Hey, thank you, ladies, for coming on. Very great. A lot of great information. This is Native Roots Radio. We'll see you tomorrow. Ho!
The city of Minneapolis is now on